Okay. Welcome, everybody. And yep, you read right. We're looking at the follow up from the Edmonton International Beer Fest. Now, I was going to do this, and I was not going to do this because of the fact that there's a lot that happened that we need to unpack that I'm trying so very hard not to. How can I put this? You know what? My unbiased opinion is going to be this. It's going to be a lot. So sit down, grab a drink. In fact, I'm grabbing mine. I'm going to look at Okanagan Springs Puyer Williams Eau de Ville. This is the pear brandy that I've had for a very long time. The smell's starting to go away a little bit. We're gonna get into some beer afterwards, but I just watched a video and I grabbed something I don't normally grab. Not this. But I wanted to grab a shot of vodka after watching the video. Now, I give kudos to the person that interviewed the owner of the International Beer Fest because he held it together. He kept it together. He made sure that he stayed impartial. And congratulations to him, because I personally would have gone off. I personally would have had some very hardball questions to ask him, and he may or may not have probably left our interview. Because I'm not a journalist. I am not impartial. I see what I see, and if I'm angry about something, I'm going to call you out on it. It's who I am. And I've learned to try and control that. But this has made it so that it's very hard for me to control. So, cheers. Let's get into this. All right. I gotta take these off. Oh, I got stuff all over the place here. Building my wife her Easter gift, and got dirty glasses there. Okay, I made notes during this, so down in the link below, or down in the comments below, or the section below, there is a little something there that shows the link to the video. I want you guys to sit there and watch the full 30 minutes of it, the full 34 minutes of it. If you don't know what's going on, it sounds like it's practically logical, and they understand what they're saying. They understand how they're portraying it. If you have not been following. If you've been following everything that's been happening, this interview sounds like he's trying to justify his festival over the Alberta Beer Festival. And I'm calling it a festival and not a trade show, which is what he repeatedly says over and over and over again. I have been to both. I have been to the Edmonton Beer Fest. Let me correct myself. I have been to the Edmonton International Beer Fest before COVID. I have been to the Alberta Beer Fest on many occasions. I have been to the Banff one. I have been to the Calgary one a few times. There was also another one that they had was the Beer Fest, which was, oh man, I can't remember the name of it, but that felt like more like a trade show versus what the beer fest actually is. And yes, I will call that one a trade show because that one, I can't remember the name of it, but it was actually held over the summer over a small area, and it was held at the Stampede grounds and also in Edmonton too. Those two were classed as beer. I class them as trade shows because that's kind of what it was, but it's still sort of a beer fest. But they didn't call it a beer fest. They called it something else. The Alberta Beer Fest is just that. It is in Alberta. It is actually partially in BC too, because I think if I remember correctly, Revelstoke is BC. But you have the Alberta Beer Fest, which is in Calgary, which is in Edmonton, which is in Jasper, which is in Banff, which is in Revelstoke as well. 5 places. They have branched out over the years from Calgary. Agreed. They started in Calgary. Agreed that the timing of the International Beer Fest and the Alberta Beer Fest was within 2 weeks of each other. Agreed. Now the Alberta Beer Fest went and did it before the International Beer Fest. Understandable. Now, here's where things get a little choppy. This year, if you didn't see my last Rant video, you would have seen that the Edmonton International Beer Fest called out the ABF in some public social media posts that they withdrew. Due to the fact that there was things going on, I imagine that they told them to withdraw it. The ABF probably told them to withdraw it because of the fact that they were called out on it, for one, and for two, there were some slanderous remarks in there. Okay. We keeping up so far. Good. Okay. I'm trying to get my thoughts wrapped around what I just watched, and I made notes. Okay? I made notes. Okay. So here's the thing. He called the ABF little trade shows in 2020, 2021. Well, 2022 when they started coming back. They weren't trade shows. Back almost 10 years ago, I went to the Calgary Beer Fest. They were not a trade show. They were a beer fest. They had breweries there. They had craft beer there. They had a bunch of other things. They called themselves a craft beer fest. They had a lot of stuff there, plus a couple of other things that did have, for example, Vodka Aid was there, and that was there. That was a sports drink with vodka, which didn't take off for some strange reason. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to go down that path. It's a vodka drink that's healthy for you. Anyways, they've had other people there, but you don't see, at the ABF, you don't see Molson. You don't see Labatt's. You don't see other people. You may see sub-series of Molson and Labatt's. If I remember correctly, at one point in time, they did have Mill Street there. I know that Banded Peak's there. Banded Peak is now run by Labatt's. I don't know if Banded Peak's been back to the beer fest or not because after that. I haven't been since. I'll be honest. I haven't been since after COVID. Watching this interview was it hurt. It really hurt. I mean, Sean doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down on everything he believes in. Great. It's what you do. It's what you do. That's fair. He called this a beer fest, and he said he started it out of a garage, or claims he started out of a garage with a bunch of friends hanging out and doing whatever. Cool. That's usually how beer fests start. I've got a friend that actually runs one in Victoria, and he still just does a private beer fest in his backyard. It's a non-beer fest. We don't class it as an actual beer fest. I still want to go to it because it's hanging out with a bunch of friends, drinking beer, enjoying music, and then sharing your love of beer with other enthusiasts. Okay. That's what he said he was starting off with. Great. But at the same point in time, he went on to say that, yes, you have to start paying for tickets. You need to find a venue. You need to find this. You need to find other people there. Which he did. Which I went back to. And actually, you know what? I am going to look up something right here, right now, because I've got a moment. Let's have a look here. Let's look at my YouTube. And let's look up Edmonton International Beer Fest and then put in my Western Canadian Reviewer. And let's see. Okay. 2014 is when I went to the International Beer Fest. Now, here's the thing. On my page, you know what? I'm going to see if I can share this. Let's see if I can share this, shall we? Let's move some things around. Let's move this over here. Let's go with, is it scene 2? Nope, scene 3. No, blog. Yeah, Need for Speed. There we go. Okay, as you see here in my thumbnail over here, you see it's playing. You see in my thumbnail, there is a lot of people there lined up for the Edmonton Beer Fest, Edmonton International Beer Fest, which I called it wrong when I went there in 2014. Now, here's the thing. I went through 18 different beers in that in that interview review, from Parallel 49 to Molson Cider. But look at that lineup. That's people lining up for the beer fest. That's what you expect to see at a beer fest. Okay? All right? We're good with that, right? Okay. I will say, taking COVID into account, that things have changed-ish. When you have someone sitting there that's COVID saying COVID's changed a lot of things, and then you turn around and you go to the Calgary Beer Fest, you go to the Edmonton Craft Beer Fest, you go to any of the ABF fests out there, guess what? It has not changed. There is tons of people that are going there. And it's not a trade show. Not a trade show. I'm blatant about this one. Now, he called it a trade show in this interview without really calling it a trade show or calling the ABF a trade show. He was saying there's a beer fest, and then there's a festival, and then there's a trade show. So he's calling it a trade show. The 2024 International Beer Fest had all of 4 venues for beers from what I've read in the reviews. Not even. And half of them, actually, there was more there, but half of them was shitty beer. Not international beer. Shitty beer. I'm calling a spade on this. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Well, let's have a look here. Let's close that up. Let's bring you over right here. You can see I've been Googling it a bit here. Okay? 61 Google reviews. 2.5 stars. This started out at 4 stars before the event took place. Oh, let's go look at newest. 4 days ago. This was not a beer festival. There was no international beers at all. Biggest waste of money and time. I would get 0 stars reviews, but that's not an option. I don't know why you would call this an Otera to beer festivals when there was barely any beer stalls. The beers were cheap and gross. Don't go to this. This craft beer festival. The craft beer festival, these should be, yeah, craft beer festival, there you go, is way better. 1 star. Shall we continue? 5 days ago. Sorry, but it was absolute horrible. Though we enjoyed Deer and a Harvey band, so they were talking about the bands, and I'll get into that in a bit. That's it. Thanks to the Shango guys who saved us from beer drought. Yeah, that's there's that right there. Overpriced venue for the amount of vendors available. High entry price to pay for an additional $80 for tickets. Entertainment was good. Disappointing festival for the amount we paid. Notice how people are commenting on the entertainment. This is such a scam, advertised either completely different event pictures or something else, because the pictures were not what it was. There's only like 2 beer tents, and the rest of the hall was seltzers or soju, basically. Over half the event was empty, with no booths. The booths were selling merchandise and food, all overpriced. Most of the people working the booths were not even actual reps. Now, he's addressed a lot of this in his interview. I use the word addressed very lightly on this. Most of the people working booths were not even actual reps of the product, or no information or misinformation of the products. Only positives to this event were the okay entertainment. Not that we stayed much because there was no drink options. Beer Fest, no drink options. And I was with a group of fun people. Also, the rep for a Meta Brewery was very cool. We only had a good night because we came late and left early and make our own fun. Thanks to the event. No thanks to the event. Will save my money in the future for better festivals than craft fest, food, wine fests, festivals, etc. Very false advertising. Very disgusting. Not very many microbreweries. Well, okay, I'm going to give it this much. They said International Beer Fest. They never said International Craft Beer Fest. So, to be honest, there's that. There are empty tables and lots of just standard run-of-the-mill Twisted Tea, Crest, etc. tables. Looked like someone went to the liquor store. Oh my God. That's going to segue into something good. Someone went to the liquor store and just picked up random booze. I thought it was going to be more local breweries. Wouldn't waste my money on it again. Talked to other people that were very disappointed as well. Beerfest Edmonton proved to be a letdown, lacking vendors, variety, and value. Attendees were met with sparse opinions, failing to deliver on promise and vibrant beer festival experience. With inflated prices and a dearth of selection, The event felt like a missed opportunity. Save yourself the disappointment and consider buying new singles of the lowest priced beer as an alternative. So in other words, there would have been some great things there, like Boxer. That would have done well. Actually, Boxer isn't a thing anymore. Minhas, let's just call it Minhas in general. At least they had some cheese to use my tickets on. Scams should be offering money back and closing their doors. Events were not as advertised. Money should be returned to the attendees. Now this goes on, okay? These are actual reviews of people that went. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. 8-Bit Tom brings out pictures. He brings out receipts of Mountain Crest that they look like they've pulled out of a plastic bag from a liquor store. I mean, there's entertainment. But I mean, come on. Really? This is where we're going with this. Like, I've got... And then another one. Value Lager. On a bottom. Right there. Value Lager. And then how full it is. Oh my God, this is something else. And another video of how full it is. Yeah, folks. Those look like good receipts to me. How was Beer Fest? I didn't go. I'm glad I didn't go. I saved a lot of money by not going. Few of any international beers, maybe 20 vendors. No re-entry. Can't go over a single smoke in 6 hours. Now, normally beer fests, and I say beer fest because they're beer fests, have a smoking area outside designated. They do this in Calgary. They do this in Edmonton. They do this everywhere else. You can have a designated smoking area to go have a smoke. There is some. There were some back in 2014. When was it? This was March 20th to the 23rd? 21st to the 23rd? This is sounding as bad as Willy Wonka's experience that was over in Scotland. Oh, they had a beer fest over there too, and that went really horribly too. Look up, I think it's the Brighton Beer Fest. We'll get into that some other time, but yeah. Same weekend as this one, and it went poorly. But at least they actually addressed it, unlike these guys who have not addressed it. They tripled down on it. But yeah, there's a lot of things to unpack here. And this is something that basically, like I said, there's a link down below in my description of a video. It's half an hour long of an interview with the founder. Now, some of the things that he pointed out that I like to I'll go over. So, as I said, he was calling the other ones. No, it's an indoor festival. So they do it inside a trade show. They do it inside a trade place. So it's indoors, but there's no smoking. So they should have an outdoor spot where where they have it cut off and you can smoke. But apparently they didn't have that. They didn't have a smoking pit per se. Okay, so the video that I watched, and I again commend the guy that interviewed Sean for being unbiased. Thank you for that. I can't do that. Some of the notes I took. He was unsure when Cicerone went and dropped them. He said March 20th. He found out that they dropped them. He paid people back before March 20th because there's receipts on some of the places that paid him back. They actually had refunded the money. But he said that Cicerone should pay them back because they dropped out. Cicerone said in their statement, and I quote, "We have given the money back to the Edmonton International Beer Festival as we are no longer going to participate in this beer fest." So it's not up to Cicerone. They gave the money back to Edmonton International Beer Fest. It is up to Edmonton International Beer Fest to give the money back, which, from the sounds of things, they did. Good on them. He also went on to say that they should have done their due diligence and done their looking at what the International Beer Fest was about before saying yes to being part of the International Beer Fest. They were upset that they pulled out and they didn't do their due diligence on looking at what they are about. It looks like a lot of people pulled out of the International Beer Fest because he also went on to say, and I quote, vendors did not show up at their booths at the International Beer Fest. I want to know who. I want to know who did not show up at the International Beer Fest. Because I kind of want to go and talk to them and say, did you guys show up? Did you actually pull out of not showing up at the International Beer Fest? I know that there was a couple of breweries that did show up. Great on them. I don't know how well they did, but he also is saying he's been doing, he's also said that the trade shows, little trade shows, ABF, are been doing it since 2020, 2021. Not true. They've been doing it way before in different places. They've just expanded to different areas over the past few years. But he's also calling the ABF a trade show. He also went on to say that people flog their wares or try to get rid of their product at trade shows to bring in new products. Not calling ABF a trade show, but implementing that they're a trade show. Being at the ABF, they bring in a VIP area, and some of the breweries bring in a cask for the VIPs, a new product that is special for the VIPs. They have a special zone for the VIPs. Let's slam some beers in tonight, man. F those guys. I understand, but this is a rant, and this is where I'm going. And you're not wrong. I already had a brandy. I might have another shot. That basically these guys they're saying that there's like the ABF has a VIP area, the VIP washrooms, VIP where you go in and talk to the vendors and talk to the brewers and talk to everybody else and have a great time there. And then they let in people afterwards. They actually are perfect for their money. Oh, the other thing with the Edmonton International Beer Fest. Your VIP package, which you spend $100 for, gets you early entry. But also he said that they were still setting up between 4 and 7 and the vendors didn't show up on time. Or didn't show up at all. Should you not have been set up for your VIPs? And they also gave them candy. Harry Potter candy in your VIP package. Oh God, this hurts. This hurts so badly. And that's actually in a review too on that page, on the Google page. Okay, 1 second. Brandon's got an idea, I guess. Look, folks, craft beer. This is what it looks like. This is a blackberry ale from New Level Brewing. Okay, where was I? All right. Now, a lot of the times he said he's advertised globally. Okay, you've advertised globally. That's great, because the way you can advertise globally is you can put it onto your social media page, and that's where you say you are advertising globally. I don't know if he's reached out to a bunch of other vendors or breweries internationally. Unless those candies are filled with booze, that's fucking ridiculous. Right? You're not wrong. Absolutely not wrong. So yeah, you can reach out globally to people, probably through your social media. I will agree with you on that. But I don't know if you emailed a bunch of vendors. Did you? Because half of them probably didn't show up. Did they pay for their spot? Maybe. I don't know. That's another question I have. You say that people didn't show up and you're kind of upset with that. How many people didn't show up, Sean? I'm pulling out my whiskey now. Yeah, you're going to need it. Yep. How many people did not show up? That's what I want to know. I would love to know how many people didn't show up. Oh, the Berserker Blonde. Yes. Hey, Fraser, how are you doing? Yes. See, now I'm having... I love my blackberries. So. Okay. Before I get off track again. But yeah, there was... What else was there in that video? Oh, Rice. He said he will be back next year. He's going to be back. So the Edmonton Beer Fest will be back next year. He did a lot of focusing on the music. Apparently, that's what didn't cancel on him, was all the music people, which is great. I understand that, but still. Oh, I look at these reviews and they're horrible. I look at his interview and it's horrible. He tries to maintain the fact that it is something that's changed. He was gone for so long because of COVID. What he failed to also mention was, and I looked this up, the venue that he uses was also used as a homeless shelter for a long time, for a couple of years too. So they couldn't use that venue. Did they go somewhere else? Nope. Not that I know of. But it was used as a homeless shelter for a little bit too. Kind of failed to mention that too. And again, he says the difference between a festival... I don't get this one. This is what I don't get. A festival and a trade show is that a trade show has a map where everybody is, and a festival does not. You just wander and find everybody. I'm going to sit back and let that one sink in for a second. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Back to where I was. So because the Alberta Beer Fest uses a map to show where all their vendors are, and I say all of them because there's a lot. There's a lot. They just had their, I think they got their Jasper last weekend. Last weekend. I don't know. They had Jasper just recently. They have a map where all their beer vendors are to show you where it is and sectioned off in different things. I remember going one year and it's sectioned off in local, international, Canadian, whatever else. Beer. Everywhere. Beer. Food vendors here, 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 and here. Entertainment at this stage here. That sounds like a festival to me. They've got entertainment. They have beer. They have food. But they have a map, so they're now a trade show. Oh, God. Okay. Again, this hurts a lot. As I said earlier, they said that they didn't call them out, but they said the trade shows, by that logic, Burning Man and every Rant festival I've been to were trade shows. There you go. You're absolutely correct. And the maps of something like, I don't know, Wacken, of the different stages and who's on those stages is a trade show. It's not a music festival. Oh, God. Yeah, the fuck. Where else was I? What else did I hear? Again, blame Cicerone, and he tells Cicerone to refund them. He said he had room for 170 booths. There was just about a dozen there. And again, he blamed people for not showing up, so I don't know who didn't show up. They probably ate the cost of that booth and said, nope, we're not going there after everything happened, i.e. Cicerone pulling out because they felt that it wasn't right. And his social media. Slam your pipe, bud. Let's get into it. I'm slowly getting into it. Trust me. I'm slowly getting into it. This interview was amazing. Like, it was really good. But it was one of those ones where you just sort of go, what the fuck? Like, you seriously do. This is where you'll be able to find it up here, vimo.com. I've posted it down below. Spend the 35 minutes and watch it. I highly recommend to watch it. He goes on saying how it's gone from a small garage thing to something you buy and pay. Oh, you know what? I don't think Donald Trump... I think Donald Trump would have... No, I can't say that because that's slanderous. Because that's not right. That's absolutely not right. I can't say yes or no on that. Nice try. I can't. Like, I'll let you watch the video yourself and just... You really just sort of look at it. Wear headphones as well because the person that is interviewing him didn't mic himself up. So you can't really hear his questions. But wear headphones, you'll be able to hear his questions. I really just... I don't get it. He did not... I understand the questions weren't asked because I would love to ask the hardball questions. I would love to sit down and say, okay, Sean, here's a question for you. You banned people that mentioned anything about Cicerone. Why did you do that on your social media? I have presently been unbanned on his Edmonton International Beer Fest, and also, well, yeah, Trump's number one. I've been unbanned on his social media, on Edmonton International Beer Fest social media. I was banned for a couple of days because I made mention of the Cicerone and I made mention of a couple of things. That was actually true to form. Because I was unbanned, my comments were then deleted. They were deleted probably before I was banned anyways. I also the questions I would love to ask him is why, and I think the interviewer kind of approached this a little bit, said that your social media is a little bit skewed, and it is. It really is. Coming from an IT perspective, it is very skewed. The guy repeats a lot of the stuff that he puts up. You see videos that have been posted like 2 days ago, posted again, or videos, a yellow bar of nothingness on a post. But I think it's from either his webpage or his personal stuff that has been attached to it that shows up on the Edmonton International Beer Fest as well. Their Instagram page. He questioned the interviewer questioned his videos that he puts on there, and he's like, well, we're just having fun. It's a fun thing. It's supposed to be entertaining and funny. It's a comedy. You're supposed to enjoy it and everything else. You know what? When you show women from a movie that has whipped cream on her tits and her vagina because it was in a movie, and you put Edmonton International Beer Fest beside it, that's showing a different message than funny, fun, or entertaining. That's showing someone that likes to sit there and degrade women. But he also called out cancel culture on that same statement that he said. So yes, maybe he is partially... No, I'm not even going to say it. I can't even say that. He's called out cancel culture because of the fact that people can't take that as a joke or entertainment or anything else like that. You know what, Sean? Throw whipped cream on your genitals and walk into a camera as well. That is entertainment. That is showing that you are there to have fun too. Because it's your beer fest, why not do that? Let's see how well the people respond to you doing that, and how many people will actually stay or actually drop out because you're doing that as a fun thing to do. Why not? I want to see it. Do it. Go on, do it. If you are having fun at this beer fest, well, I dare you to have fun now. Go for it. The fact that he puts on the Howie Mandel skit of the girl swallowing a very large sausage and says that it is fun. And he says sword swallowing is part of entertainment at Edmonton at the beer fest. I didn't see any sword swallowing at any entertainment there. I saw musicians. You may have swallowed a few things when you ate up a lot of the costs of people that apparently didn't show up. Possibly swallowed that. Would I actually go to the beer fest next year? Seeing the reviews of 1 stars and everything else like that, I would not. Seeing the fact that he really couldn't get a lot of people to show up, or canceled, or didn't show up, speaks volumes. Yet he's still doing it next year. You know what, Sean? Change it. You are so hell-bent on having it as the music artists and everything else that showed, the entertainment that showed up, call it the Edmonton International Music Fest with beer. There. You're not lying. You're not saying that there isn't going to be beer there, because there's going to be beer. It's probably going to be the value lager that you've put on the tables. This guy sounds like he has the mentality of a 13-year-old. Again, watch the video and I'll let you make that judgment call again. I can't say yes, I can't say no. The business mind that he had, the business vision that he had, it looked good. 2014, it looked really good. It was packed. There was people there. There wasn't a lot of craft breweries because it wasn't a big thing back then, but it was packed. There was a entertainment area. There was food. There was Molson Canadian there slogging their cider back in 2014. And there was actually a lot of stuff. And I walked out of there very inebriated. I am not going to lie. I walked out inebriated. Both nights. And then drove 3 hours home the next day. But seeing this and seeing it in comparison to 2014 or 2017, what year? I said 2014. Is that right? 2014. Yeah, so 10 years ago. Seeing it from 10 years ago to today is a lot. It's changed a lot. Because of COVID? Yes, possibly. But possibly not. Again, look at the Alberta Beer Fest for the people that have been in Alberta. They're packed. They're jamming. There are people that are there entertaining you left, right, and center. And have actual people that are showing off their beers. There's been times, yes, where the ABF has not had a person that knew what the beer was. I should know this because I was there for 2013 and they had a vendor there for Lucky Lager or Buddha beer was what we called it. And it was a beer in a Buddha bottle and the vendor didn't know what they were selling. It was someone that actually was there as a volunteer or there being paid to share this beer. It happens. But when you have all of half a dozen to a dozen vendors there at a beer fest in 2024, and most of them have no fucking idea what they're slogging, kind of makes you wonder. You probably picked a bunch of people off the street possibly and said, hey, you want to make a couple of bucks? Come here, sell this beer, doesn't matter. And the questions that you ask, just say, I don't know. Just give them a beer for this amount of tickets. That shouldn't happen in 2024. In fact, this beer fest really shouldn't happen this year. But it did. Because that would have been a very big cost to eat up. So you might as well have it, take the loss, and come back next year. Or try to. These one-star reviews are going to be a little bit harder to contemplate or go back over. Really, they are. I really wanted to go in this with a solid mind of I'm not as impartial, but I couldn't do that. I am impartial to a degree. Lots of companies are withdrawing from these types of events. This year, Auto Show was also like that. It goes, I guess COVID might play a part in that. It's not just COVID. Okay. So let's stop blaming COVID for a second here. We can say that it's partially because of that, but we can also say the price of inflation too. The price of inflation to bring something into where you have a booth has probably gone up. I will agree to that. I will agree that it costs a little bit more to have something at a booth. But if you have an auto show that has been popular year in and year out, you bring in some great guests, and the auto show in the Calgary Auto Show, for example, brought in people like Lita from the WWE, or some great mechanics, or some great people that really know cars, or even the General Lee, for example, but wait, hang on. I'm not allowed to say General Lee anymore because that's cancel culture. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. The Ghostbusters car, um, like it just basically, if you have the good stuff that people want to see, they will come and see it. Kit from Knight Rider, he was there or that car was there as well, or a Kit clone, for example. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could have. The drag racer that had Bret Hart's name all over it at the car show. You bring something like that back, people will go see it. You just have to know how, when, and what to do in order to pivot, kind of. Granted, I say that as someone that hasn't been behind the desk, or behind the booth. So yeah, there might be some things that I could get wrong, like the cost. The cost could be way too much to bring up a car from the States, to bring it across the borders, to pay for the fees to come across the border to do it. That stuff that might add into the cost, the gas, everything else. That could be it too. The attendance could be down because of it. Yeah, you're not wrong. So there's a lot of things that are coming into play right now that people have to sort of watch and go, okay, can I afford to go here? No. Can I afford to go here? Yes, I can. I didn't get a chance to go to the Dungeon Wrestling last night, be it is also during the Easter long weekend. But at the same point in time, the affordability was not there. I would have loved to gone to see people like Chris Masters and everyone else wrestle there. That would have been a lot of fun, but I couldn't afford it. So yes, there's affordability. And you know what? Dungeon Wrestling did have a lower attendance there too, but they still did their show. And they did it with class, where they actually showed that these people were showing up, and not have it where they advertised Cicerone still on their social media after they pulled out February 28th. So I mean, there's a small difference between the two. I mean, you're not wrong, but there is a small difference between the two. I don't get it. I kind of get it, but I don't. Like, next year, are they actually going to make sure that this happens? He's been planning this 8 months in advance. But he also blames Cicerone for not doing their due diligence and checking out what they were like. Cicerone, he also said that Cicerone was possibly bought out by, was it Molson or Labatt? Where are we here with my notes? Oh yeah, he was saying that Cicerone was maybe, I don't know, bought out by Molson. I got to look into that, actually. That's something I really want to check out. Has Cicerone been bought out by Molson? Or is that just a red herring that he threw out there just to give people like, oh shit, well, I shouldn't trust them now. Okay. Sorry. Because that happens a lot too. Okay. I've been rambling for almost an hour about this. I really recommend you guys checking out this video and letting me know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below, because after you see this, you're probably going to go through about 20 minutes of this video, not even 5 minutes, go, oh shit, he's going off again. And just let me know your thoughts. I want you to watch that video and let me know your thoughts of what he is like, because I'm really interested. Am I just losing my mind thinking that no, he's actually backtracking, he's doubling down, he's tripling down, he's quadrupling down on everything he said? Or maybe he might have something behind it. Maybe he might say something that is logical. I don't know. But the way I look at this, it doesn't look that way. I understand you're trying to save face with your festival. I understand that you're trying to call out, but not call out the other festival. Oh, the event was really major trash. It was horrible. Again, look at the reviews. Who is this guy? The mayor? No. No, the mayor actually is decent from the sounds of things. I don't know. This is just one of those guys that runs a beer festival that has 150,000 people on his social media, which I think, and I could be wrong, are all bought. They purchased it because you look at the likes on his social media versus all the people that are on there. I got a feeling you actually paid money to have a bunch of people on there. Not saying that he did, not saying that he didn't, but the evidence is kind of leaning towards it from an IT's perspective. And I can say that from an IT perspective. Did I actually attend the festival? No, thankfully I did not. I did not attend the festival because I couldn't make it up to Edmonton. I didn't want to spend the $300 a night on a hotel room and then spend $45 on a night or for just general admission for a shitty beer fest. I'm glad I saved that money. I've attended it in the past. I have been there in the past and I saw what the past was about, but I also did have some friends that did attend it, or I did have some people that I know on social media that did attend it, and they noticed that there was a few things that were missing, like people and beer and a lot of beer. And yeah, a lot of beer. But there was cheese from the reviews. There was cheese. I would like to see how Sean will recover from this, because this is a big one. Will it kill him? Maybe. Is that the best beer festival in there? No. No. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the best beer festival in Alberta. They're saying that it's supposed... Like, there's a fucking award that I've never heard of that is on his thing that I looked up. And it's almost like these participation awards that show up. Oh, you actually wanted to throw up here? Throw your name into this. No one else did? Here's your participation award for showing up. Like, that's exactly what this fucking award looked like. It is a nominee, and then, yes, he did win the award for the best festival in Alberta, because I'm sure no one else fucking put their name in there. Because I can think of a bunch of other ones. Folk Fest, Calgary Beer Fest, Craft Beer Fest, Edmonton Beer Fest, Shakespeare Fest. These all other ones have a lot of people that show up that actually enjoy themselves. But apparently the Edmonton International Beer Fest won this award. Yeah, that's again, me. So there's that. I want to see how he pivots. I want to see how he changes things around. If I was Sean and I was able to afford the beer fest the next year, because you lost a lot of money, I'm sure of it, on this beer fest. You know what I would do to change it? Pivot. Fucking pivot. Is there a fine print under the awards saying he was voted by his own staff? Possibly. Or just by... Because this is it was a Canadian awards thing. So there's Alberta. So they break this award down. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's do this. let's go down this path because I really want to show you this one. This is fucking genius. Okay, let's do this. See this? Canada's Choice Award nominee. I have never heard of this thing. Let's click on that. Okay, this is just takes you to the fucking thing. Okay, you know what? Let's go back here. So Canada's Choice Award nominee. Let's do this. Canada's Choice Award Award 2024. Recognizing the best businesses in Canada. Okay. Our process. Nominations announced, finding the winners of the Canadian. Nominate your favorite business in Canada. Businesses, owners, rally your supporters for nominations, spread the love. Drum roll, please. Top finalists and winners. Like, okay. So let's look at this. Let's look at the winners. Saw a billboard once for a time for dentists saying he was voted #1 dentist in Michigan, and in small print underneath said voted by his own staff. You know what? You're not wrong. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. Choose your 2024 winners. We have all of Canada here. Okay. Now, let's click on Alberta, for example. From every small little fucking town to anything above that wanted to be voted for something. Let's go for Okotoks. Let's do Okotoks. Okotoks is south of us. Let's see what we got. So we have all these winners for used cars dealers, nonprofit organization, Indian restaurant, and massage therapy, house cleaning. Like, there's a few here. That's not many. This is just a few here, okay? Seriously, participation awards, folks. Edmonton. Wedding planners, injury lawyer, criminal lawyer, wedding photographers, videographers, veterinarians, tax accountants, Thai restaurant, trucking companies, tattoo shops, talent agencies, stone fabrication, what the fuck? Retail, shawarma restaurant, snow removal. The participation awards here, folks. Recreation center restaurant, record label, property management company, psychologists, real estate agencies, plumbers, plastic surgery, pet grooming, pharmacy. Do you see where I'm going with this? You scroll down. You keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Oh boy. Keep scrolling. Festival. Edmonton International Beer Festival. Shall we look at the top festivals of Edmonton? Little Timmy's lemonade stand. Oh, hey, Half Hitch got one in Cochrane. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Should we talk about the Fringe Festival Theatre in Edmonton? How about the Pride Festival? Should that have won over Edmonton Beer Fest? Probably. Edmonton Blues Festival, Purple City Music Festival, Toledo Family Arts Festival, Pride Month Festival, Edmonton Indigenous Peoples Festival. Like, these are just summer festivals, folks. How many people put their name in for the festivals in Edmonton? I betcha one. Fucking one person. And that would be the Edmonton International Beer Festival. I would say Pride Month Festival would be over Edmonton International Beer Festival. Edmonton's Indigenous People Festival. That would probably be one. Improv. Ooh, improv. Yeah. Circus Arts Festival? I would say yes. International Jazz Festival? Uh-huh. Grindstone Comedy. White Value Art Walk? That's a festival. Art and Design Festival? Yep. Street Performers Festival? Yep. Great Outdoors Comedy Festival? I'm going to say that would win. Where are all those festivals? In Edmonton. These are all Edmonton festivals right here. K-Days. Disco in the Park. Edmonton Heritage Festival. Edmonton Folk Festival. Do I really? Caribbean Arts... Like, come on. Right? Right? And what I'm saying right to is, this looks like what I would use to pad my resume with after I nominated myself, after I self-nominated. Exactly. You find a festival, you find a fucking award ceremony that actually will give you an award because nobody else knows about this. They probably should, because there's some really good festivals in Edmonton. And you win an award. Participation. Congratulations, you won this. You volunteered yourself. I'm sorry, Sean. I don't mean to really go down this path, but you make this a little easy. You want comedy? There you go. There's your comedy, buddy. You want entertainment? There's your entertainment, buddy. And I did this for free. I don't get paid for this. That, and also, this is my own opinion, folks. I am not slandering. I'm not doing anything. I'm just showing you the truth. I'm showing you what I see, and I show you my opinion. Got to hit up some. Yes, you do, dude. You have some great ones in Ontario, too. Seriously, Brandon, you do. Go check them out, man. You got some great ones there. So yeah, honestly, watch this video. Let me know what you think, because I would really like to know, because this is something that I look at all this evidence, and it's not something that I'm making up. I am showing you receipts here. I am showing you fact after fact after fact of what's going on here. And I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand how when this interview went off, I again, commend the interviewer for keeping it a non-biased thing, because I personally would have not done that. I am someone that goes, okay, here's what I found out. Care to explain all this stuff? And by the time I was done, he'd probably go, oh, I'm done. Fuck this. I'm out. And he probably would have walked off, because I had all these receipts and I probably would have wanted answers. It's just the type of person I am. So, Sean, I'm really sorry that I have lambasted your festival, but you kind of did it to yourself. You kind of made it so that this is all the stuff that has shown up in the last couple of weeks from you turning on the Alberta Beer Fest and calling them a scam, and the grocery stores that own them, not sponsor, own them, to basically showing up at this beer fest where you're showing up with these value beers of... I have never heard of fucking value lager. Where the fuck did that come from? The yellow label means, I want to say that it's like no-name beer. Like from President's Choice, whatever. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. Where you had to buy the cheapest fucking beer you could to try and make sure you had beer at your festival. And then charge a ton of tickets for this cheap-ass beer. The least you could have done was bought a bunch of craft beer at President's Choice or Costco, for God's sakes. But you couldn't even do that because the beer that you buy there is not allowed, because the craft beer would sit there and say, we didn't authorize you to sell our shit. Pull it. And you would have been sued. So yeah, of course you had to go with value lager, because they probably wouldn't have noticed. But it's on social media, so if you did buy it and they didn't like it and you associated their name with it, you might be in a little bit of trouble. So, I just heard they were bought by Steam Whistle. Oh, okay. Oh, going on about Bose. Oh, Bose. Yes, Bose is still there. Steam Whistle did buy Bose. It is correct. Steam Whistle. Yeah, Steam Whistle bought Bose, and they actually, yeah. So, Bose is still. The Tom Green beer that they had at Bose was decent, except for the second one that they brought out. So, yes, I know Tom Green. The Tom Green beer, anyways. I may have pimped out the Tom Green beer and then slandered the other one, or poo-pooed the other one that they had. The white fucking stout that he had. Anyways, folks, I just wanted to bring this to people's attention. I just want to say, hey, this is what we have here. We have this person here that did an interview, and I recommend you watching it. I recommend you looking at the reviews of the Edmonton International Beer Fest. I recommend you looking at the social media that the Edmonton Beer Fest has, Edmonton International Beer Fest has. And I want you to bring yourself to your own opinion of what's going on with this beer fest. The vanilla porter, oh yes. There's also one that had a wolf on it with two different eyes. We're talking about Bose here. That was actually a good beer too. That's in my reviews somewhere way back when. Just look up Bose, and I think it's in there somewhere on my channel. Not to pimp myself, but I'm pimping myself. Check all this stuff out. Let me know your thoughts, because honestly, this is turning into a media circus sideshow. And I really, really hope, for the matter of Sean, that you kind of pivot. You kind of take this with stride and say, yes, this one was kind of a bit of a fuck up. I will do better next year. Not, oh yeah, we're just doing it next year. Don't worry about it. It's okay, bud. We got this. And that's a bad thing of it. But try and pivot. You know what? Change your date. If the ABF have already scheduled their time for 2025, change your date. Yeah, you shouldn't have to, because you were technically first. But take the high road. That helps. Take the high road and go from there. Jesus. Clown shit. Yep, okay. You're not wrong. I'm trying here. I'm trying to be like, I got all this stuff happening here, and it's just, I can't sit here and justify me being positive about this. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to give some constructive criticism. Do yourself a favor. Hire a social media person. Get them to know how to integrate your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, and whatever you else have, including your own personal Instagram page, into one, so you're not having repeat posts. It's my personal opinion. Drop the sexism. Okay? It might be funny for you, it might be hilarious, and you might think cancel culture is bad, but adapt. How about the Leafs crushing the Oilers the other day? I don't care, I'm a Canucks fan. How about the Canucks beating the Leafs? Didn't they do that recently? Um, but again, if you're going off with this cancel culture stuff, change that. Yes, you can sound like a bitter old man, but you don't have the gray I do. I can sound like a bitter old man and say, horrible, horrible, I'm fucking old. But at the same point in time, adjust. I have to adjust. I have my own thoughts. I didn't know there were certain phrases out there that I wasn't allowed to use when I used as a teenager. Adjust yourself. Change it. I would love to see those lineups that I showed in the thing earlier at your beer fest. Beer festival. Again, beer. I don't care if it's craft. I don't care if it's macro. I don't care whatever else it is. It's fucking beer. Again, you said there's all these different festivals. That's great. Change your times. Adjust. Pivot. Do whatever else you need to. Don't fucking blame. Say, okay, I screwed up this year. This is what's happened. This is personally what I would do, and what the guys over in England did. They apologized. They apologized for their beer fest that they had that was so shitty, it made yours look decent. Not gonna lie, it did. But they apologized for it. Said, I'm sorry, we'll do better next time. Don't lay blame on a COVID. Don't lay blame on people not wanting to buy. Don't lay blame on people canceling. Don't blame. Ugh, God, trying to say that fast 5 times is not working for me. On trying to say it's someone else's fault. Work on your festival. Work on what you can do to make it better, because it's not the people that are around you, it's you. And I'm pretty sure you're going to look at me going, no, it's not me, it's them. No, dude, it's you. Cicerone dropped out after they saw your social media. After they were in trouble with their own shit that they had done that had happened in the previous, because of stuff that was kind of in part of what you showed on your own festival. So they dropped out, saving face. What you can do is change your ways to save face, just like Cicerone did. But, yeah. But yeah, sorry, I'm just sort of reading the comments here at the same time. But this is something you can do to change your festival. Be better is what I've heard a lot of out in the world. Be better. Okay? Do that. Be better. Otherwise, you wouldn't get videos like I'm doing. You wouldn't get reviews like you had. You wouldn't get lack of people like you did. And you absolutely wouldn't have the lack of product like you did this year in 2024. Don't blame it on COVID. Don't blame it on the venue. Don't blame it on anything else. Switch, pivot, like a lot of people had to do. The people that didn't pivot over COVID, they're closing down because they can't afford things. There's people that did pivot and they're still struggling, yes, but they're still struggling a little bit longer than the other ones that didn't pivot. Now it's your time to pivot. You want to be an international beer fest, not craft beer, beer fest, change it. International Beer and Spirit Fest. Look at that. You now are able to go and have spirits, beer, and other stuff. And if you want, have a fucking liquor store sponsor you. Who cares? You got money coming in from that liquor store to help you, not hinder you, like you're saying the ABF is doing. I don't get it. I really don't. Sean, just like honestly, change. Otherwise, next year I'm going to be coming on here and doing another video. And if you want me to see how much you've changed, by all means, bring me out. Pay for me to come out, because I'm not coming out there on my own dime anymore. I wouldn't come out on my own dime. Pay for me to come out. Show me that you've changed. Show me that this beer fest for 2025 is going to be something spectacular. Because 2014, it looked fucking awesome, even though it had craft, even though it had macro, and even though it had spirits, but it had entertainment, it had food, and the price was right. And I still will say that to this day. It was right. So do yourself a favor, pivot. Folks, I'm going to go. I've had a rant for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I've had a couple of beers. I kind of want to sit down with the family, and I kind of want to sit there and finish building my wife's Easter gift. Since we have cats and they can't have real fucking flowers in the house. I'm going to sit down and relax. And I hope you guys do too. I want to thank Fraser for coming out. I want to thank Brandon for coming out. Chevy, thank you for coming out as well. And again, there is a beer review that I just did you might want to check out. My God, it is so good. It's from Chicago. Go check it out. It's a good beer. 5 out of 5. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the person. So, for the person that showed me this or tagged me in this video, or said that this is the video, and he actually on Instagram, he sat there and he tagged me in it, and I thank him for that, because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So I want to say, Square Sheet Films, thank you for that. If you want to check out their Instagram, please do. And like, seriously, this guy, he did a great interview. I really do applaud him for this. He really did a great interview. But again, there he is, pimping me out right there. I am on that page. Oh my God. And he posted me on there, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I got something to watch tonight. And I did. And oh boy, like I said, there was a lot to unpack there. There really was. Oh, and yeah. So, by the way, for the people that are wondering of what this one was, this was the Howard Stern one where she swallowed a hot dog, and that's kind of got him into trouble too. That got him into a lot of trouble there too. That's kind of what started this a little bit, from Cicerone dropping out. But as you see, he still used Cicerone's little logo there, which honestly was illegal. A little bit of a dick move. And then all you see is this fucking beer fest thing or whatever, yelling all the time on his beer. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do this. Just to do one more receipt, because I've been unblocked. This is all the stuff that he showed off during the beer fest. That's great, but I don't think those were the crowds. I really don't think that was all the crowds. I was hearing that it was kind of lackluster. But before that, all you see constantly is video upon video upon video of the same fucking thing. Oh my God, like it just got so repetitive. And then before that, the same things. Repetitiveness. And he says, this is the way social media is. No, it's not, dude. No, it's not. I got so fucking bored of this goddamn page, I gave up. Like 4 of them, the same thing. Same fucking thing. And then just all these things. And then, yeah. Oh, this wonderful video here of a woman drinking and then falling off the boat. Like, really? This is the kind of frat party fucking shit you show off. And then this, Can you even make out what this is about? Anybody? Can anybody show me what this is about? Because this looks like a pile of poo. Oh, and a hot dog. Great. And then people on a bike for some reason. Like, this is the social media that they're talking about. Oh, and a clip from the Drunken Master where you sit there and you drink and you fight because you get better fighting because you drink. We all know that's not the way the Drunken Master works, but you know, it's right there. Yeah. And he tagged himself on that. International beer stops. Yes, possibly. Yes, possibly. I mean, like, come on. And again, that's the one I was showing earlier. Like, I don't know what that has to do with the beer fest. Do you? Anyone? No one? Okay. And then this yelling all the time. But I mean, he used the Cicerone throughout every single post he had. And apparently he paid for it. I gave him his money back, so he didn't pay for it. Anyways, on that bright and cheery note, I've gone down a big, long path. Let's just stop there. Let's stop there. I'll let you guys go through all this stuff. It's a lot to unpack. It really is. So, folks, I want to say thank you. Cheers. Here's to craft beer. And, again, Hot Butcher. If you find this, Chris, this is what I was talking about, is a Hot Butcher. $10 beer up here, but fuck, it was good. Till next time, folks, I am Dan, aka the Western Canadian Reviewer, saying cheers. Thank you for joining. I'm really sorry for this really long rant, but there was a lot to unpack, and I thank you for sticking with me. And Brandon, at some point in time, yes, I will get down and I will drink a bunch of beers. It's just Easter weekend. Happy Easter to everybody tomorrow who celebrate it. Happy holidays to people who have it off and don't celebrate it. Enjoy the chocolate and everything else like that. I will see you real soon. Cheers, everybody. Have a great night. And again, fucking watch that video and let me know what you thought of that interview, because, oh boy, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Till next time. Cheers, everybody.